Good job. Okay. So actually, thank you, Terry. And I would have to say that Terry was really a driver in this. I mean, as an academic, the stuff about communications is a little foreign, but boy, did we really learn a lot. And when I think about it, this message to the public was a great idea. You know, as many of you are parents, and what else could, you know, engage you? Finish on time, save money, get your kid to have a job, you know, get them out of the house. You know, when I think about that, it was, you know, in some ways it was sort of brilliant. But my role here is to talk to you about the not so fun internal audiences and how we and the importance of working with the campuses. Because as systems, that's what we can do. We could do this communication campaign. We can do a statewide campaign. You know, our reach is really all of the entire, can be the entire state. So for our internal stakeholders, we use the delivery chain analysis to develop to identify all the different people that would be involved directly or indirectly in the implementation of 15 to finish. So you have this in your packet, but it helps us to say, okay, who are the who's? How do they relate to each other? What level of influence does each individual or group of people have? And it can help us decide or look at how is it that we're going to get a message that we are sharing on a system level actually down to the students. Because as you all know, we don't have students. It's the campuses who have the students. So just to give you a little bit of an idea of how at our system, which I can't imagine is too different in yours, this top part is just the upper portion. It's organized by how we organizationally are at the university. So the first third layer, top third layer is our Vice President for Student Affairs and University and Community Relations. So we have a PR, University Relations department at the system level, and naturally we had to involve them because their role particularly is going out to communicate to the public. But our Student Affairs department is also with this Vice President. So we went and we actually had to identify who are all the different people we had to talk to. So the financial aid officer says, this is great. If we could package 15 credits for everybody, it would really make our life easier. Recruiters are fine. We were very much targeting our first-time students because we want them to develop good habits. The student caucus, this is a representative of students of each of the campuses. They were a little more cautious. Can I handle? Will you have the classes available? You know, I have to work. So those are the kinds of concerns they identified. Our advisors and our system council of advisors, they were a very interesting group of people. I think, they're very much concerned about the students. Can they handle the work? And always our response to them was, we want you to start at 15. Because the culture that we have all developed is that 12 is full-time. I think most of us have, by definition, a full-time student is 12 credits. And yes, by federal financial aid, that's what it is. And that's what we really, I think, when I think about this, the time I say, oh, it's really our fault. We've created this culture where we say 12 is what you should be taking. So the response is, everyone can't take, the advisor said, everyone can't take 15 credits. Yes, that's absolutely true. But we want you to start them thinking that 15 is where you start from, and then you reduce as needed. This middle section is the academic section. We have our chancellors and our provosts, our vice chancellors for academic affairs. Again, we had the advisors group here as part of it, and then we have the faculty. So we have a system council of faculty senate chairs in which we meet on occasionally, and we had a range of responses. The most common was, college is a time to explore. Why are we trying to force them through this and move them forward? And then the other great thing they really do is they attack the data. So, we showed them the 15 to finish data, and we explained this, and they had lots of comments about the study. I think that what we also learned is that faculty really don't think about completion. They don't, sometimes I think that, our job, what we sell is education. It's actually our commodity is trying to get students out with some kind of credential. And faculty just don't really think about that. They think about their own discipline, what they want to teach the students, what they think the students in engineer or history or whatever it is should know and learn about. We have a Hawaii P20 in here because they are developing a college access portal for our K-12 students to our university, so we absolutely want to get that message in there. This portion of our delivery chain is our technology portion. So like everything else, we have a My UH portal where students initially start off to have to go and register and get information. And we have been able to put up our 15 to finish videos at time of registration, so at least that information is there when the students have to enter the portal. STAR is our degree audit. It's our homegrown degree audit system. And UH Manoa is listed here because they actually developed the system. But we have been able to work with STAR to put in messages about 15 to finish, actually personalizing the student's STAR opening page that says, thanks for taking 15 credits. The other thing our STAR system has recently developed is a projection to when the student will graduate based upon their major, the courses they have taken, their past enrollment in terms of number of credits. So we think actually this is going to be really good, that if we start getting more students taking 15 credits, we'll see that, that progression for each student looking better. So as I say, our delivery chain was our effort to be able to analyze all the groups we had to look at internally. Starts out here on the left side with the university president, and certainly over there on the right side with the public, the parents, and the students. So our campus strategies is that, this campaign, it would be actually, I would actually want to say, it would be suicide to do this campaign without engaging the campuses. And we have to communicate with our campuses to let them know what is the data, what is the message we're doing. And as you all know, because most of you probably work at state levels, even with your greatest efforts at communication, it doesn't always get down. So you just have to continually communicate. Some of the things that we did, or campuses did, I should say, is that reduce credit requirements to 120. Our flagship campus had until, I think it was about a year ago, a minimum of 124 credits to get a baccalaureate degree. So you divide that by 15, that already gives you 9 semesters and 5 years. But they got that approved. Now, all it said was your minimum number of credits is 120. It didn't say you must change your degree requirements to 120, because curriculum belongs to the faculty, but there is definite evidence and effort to having departments look at their degrees and see where it is that they can possibly reduce. Development of academic maps and milestones, so academic maps, I think there are different terms, but for us there are semester by semester plans, right? So for 4-year programs, it's 8 semesters of what you should take. So one of our campuses has that completed, and we're making big efforts to get the other 2. And actually, it was thanks to Complete College America, we brought Larry Abel back to visit us in January. So we have the other 4-year campuses working on this. I think that besides, the value of having these maps is that, one, it really forces the faculty to have to lay it out. And sometimes we say, so it's a 400 level course, and what are its prereqs? Well, we don't have any. Well, why don't you have any? Well, we don't want to limit students' ability to take the course. And then you say, so why is it a 400 level course? So it actually it actually, we think by having to lay it out, helps faculty to have to examine, now what is the plan, what is the reasonableness of what they're taking in one semester, and does our curriculum actually build on each other? One of the other kind of interesting outcomes is that at UH Manoa, of their 130 bachelor degrees, what the community colleges did is they did what they called an overlay project, right? They took their first 2 years and put it down and looked at, okay, if they were at any one of our 7 community colleges, what can they take at our 7 community colleges, and then enter at a 3rd year, transferring the 60 credits. So you would think, well, that's really great. Well, they found very, very interesting things. Across the 130 baccalaureate degrees, 52% of them had at least one 300-level course in year 1 or year 2. They said, oh, that was kind of interesting. We actually had this past spring, we actually had 2 discipline meetings where there were 300-level courses that the community colleges thought, well, looking at what you say your 300-level courses are, we think some combination or even maybe one of our courses might actually look like its equivalent. And we had differing reactions from different groups. One group says, oh yeah, that's actually might be very possible. And then they said, it really should be a 200-level course, but they had their own reasons why there were 300. And the other group reacted was, well, it's a 300-level course. Of course, none of your 100 or 200-level course could anyway be equivalent to our 300-level course. Okay, so we're not looking at student learning outcomes. We're looking at faculty opinions about what they think their courses are about. One of our community colleges, Kapiolani Community College, is probably the community college that's most aligned with UH Manoa because of its geographical location, because it transfers a high number of students to UH Manoa. But they only found that 27% of those 130 baccalaureate degrees actually aligned in year 1 and 2. Only 27%. At the very lowest end, Hawaii Community Colleges, which is located on the Big Island, only 9%. They found only 9% of their 130 that they could complete year 1 and 2 and just moved into year 3. Less than 10 programs were aligned at all 7 community colleges, and some of these were accounting, financing, history, religion, journalism, and marketing. And I happen to know actually a few of them actually have very few lower division major courses. It's probably why they align easily, so they align with their general ed. So I think this has provided us a wonderful opportunity to engage in conversations at the 4-year campuses about why you have these 300-level courses in the first 2 years, and looking at alignment. And the message isn't always, you must complete your Associate of Arts degree before you transfer. I mean, there's definite advantages for that. It may be that in some programs, it would be better if you completed the gen ed core and then transferred. So I think these academic maps has just great value. Block scheduling is another one. We have some campuses are providing freshman students with predetermined 12 or 15 credits. Here's what with your either English or math in your first year. And one campus did 12 credits opt into another 3. And this year they're trying 15 credits opt out of 3, which again, opt out is always one where if you really want opt out for what you want, where you really want the student to do. English and math in our first year, I think this one we might have nailed in terms of being clear that the value to have them doing that in their first year is very important. Freezing our summer tuition. Since our summer tuition is self-supporting, our resident tuition rate for the summer for all campus was the same as the flagship campus. So the difference in tuition from what the fall-spring tuition and the summer tuition ranged from $120 to $250 more per credit. So you can see that's kind of a financial disincentive for the other 9 campuses. Since 2011, we have frozen summer tuition, and so this summer 2013 will be our 3rd year, and we now have reduced the difference to about $120 more per resident tuition credit. I think and we are absolutely following the data. There is certainly a modest increase in summer enrollment at the other 9 campuses. Financial incentives for freshmen. Our UH Manoa campus offered a 3-credit scholarship for entering freshmen to take a summer course. So we know that if you brought in 6 credits or more into your freshman year, you had a much higher rate of graduation. Manoa is also they're offering a half course tuition credit, 1.5 credit tuition scholarship to freshmen who've completed 27 or more credits in their freshman year, because we're trying to get them to that magic 30. The other one that we're working on right now is we're working on a drawing through our bookstores. So our bookstores are all organizationally related. So what we're working on is a drawing for the dollar amount is not yet determined, but we're talking about $300 to $500 in a bookstore credit for freshmen who complete 30 credits for the fall 14. So we're going to do some publicity in August where new registration starts, and do some periodic publicity. And I think at the end of spring semester, we're going to do something about identifying these students and then at least notifying them that they're eligible. But we're going to make them come in, I think, to actually sign up for the drawing. We think that we want them engaged in some small effort to demonstrate the value of this 30 credits. Student orientation video, I think this notion that we've worked, one of the groups that we identified in talking with the advisors is the new student orientation first year experience coordinators. So we had a conference call with them, shared the data, talk about why it's important, and what we specifically asked them to do was change their video or their PowerPoint to say start at 15. Because we absolutely know that for many of them they say start at 12 credits. Cohort scheduling, I think as Stan mentioned, it's the morning or the afternoon. On our one campus has talked about evening or weekend blocks. But we have 2 community college campuses who are working on cohorts, guaranteeing graduation in 2 years, 2 or 3 years if you buy into a full-time schedule. So they're approaching it differently. One community college is looking at college-ready students. Okay, sign up here. Here's your schedule. We will guarantee you to graduate in 2 years if you buy in and follow through. Another campus is looking at students who have more needs, students who have not thought of college as a possibility, and they're looking at a 3-year plan. Again, full-time schedule. No, actually, I think it's 12 credits, and with a lot of wraparound support services. And their goal is to graduate in 3 years. I mean, I think if you look at our on-time graduation rates for 2 years, they're like in the teens, 15%, 19%. Something has. I mean, there's only going up. That's the only way we can go. So improve course scheduling and availability. I can't tell you that we can't say take 15 credits of anything. You have to take 15 credits of something that counts towards your program. And this is our responsibility. We have to have the courses available to the student. So it's always this kind of this fine line when the student says, I can't get the course. And we always have to be careful because sometimes I can't get the course at the time or the faculty that I really want that at. And the other issue is we have to move away from faculty deciding what course I want to teach, on what day, at what time, and I don't want to teach before 10, and I don't want to teach after 2. So, like in the cohort scheduling, we had one of the vice chancellors for academic affairs says, okay, we're working on this, and so when we have a forced plan schedule, we have to guarantee we're going to offer this kind of course. We're not going to be able to offer as many choices, and we're going to have to offer it in this time frame. And he says, yes, this is a real challenge for the faculty. So in terms of improving course scheduling, we have a waitlist function as part of our registration system. So it gives us good, so students wait list, and then there's some automatic moving of students in and out. They register now, then there'll be a closed registration period until August again. So the waitlist function will move them in and out up to the start of the new registration period in the fall. But what it does is it gives good information about what courses are well subscribed, and how departments can use that information to plan their schedule for the next semester, or even potentially open up new sections. The academic maps, I mean, gee, if we had a map of what courses students should take and that they are on time, it would actually tell us what courses we need to offer. That would be really exciting. Our Do It in 2 and Do It in 4 is a parallel campaign that's based on the campuses. It's associated with STAR, and they complete your associate degree in 2 years, complete your baccalaureate degrees in 4 years. And their approach is that they have student ambassadors. They set tables up at campus centers, cafeterias, and they invite the students to come and look at their STAR report. It's really trying to educate the student on how they can use their own STAR record to plan their schedule, move along faster. Oh, okay, and now I'll turn it over to Linda to tell you what our good results were in our first year.